Hey, welcome to my channel. I discussed a little bit about earlier in one of my earlier videos about the fact that, what do we do with Daniel Jones? Should we tank the season, whatnot? And I say, yes, tank the season. The other aspect is they're going to be looking for a quarterback. I don't know who they're going to get because it's going to be kind of hard to do. I don't think there's anyone outstanding in the draft, this upcoming draft class, that's pretty much a standout as a QB is concerned, unless maybe the Giants find someone like a diamond in the rough in there, like not a top pick, but like one of those mid level picks, basically. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but the one thing I was gonna say is this: is depending on how this game goes tonight with the Giants versus the Steelers. Honestly, I don't think it matters at this point because, quite honestly, the season's gone. The season's pretty much done for the Giants at this point. So, more so to the point where, like, whether they be 3-5 or 2-6, the Giants are not making the playoffs this season. Let's be honest, they're not making the playoffs. If they make the wild card by some miracle, they're not going far anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I know I said the same exact thing as the with the New York Mets, but in reality is this one I'm being truly realistic about. I'm being truly realistic because as Daniel Jones is our quarterback, if he's going to be the quarterback, we're not going far. Let's be honest, we're not going far. And the offensive line, it's all pretty much done for at this point, so it doesn't matter. What the Giants should do is they should be sellers. They need to sell off, like trade off as many of their players as they can, that they can get some serious draft capital back if they can. Like I hate to say this, but like Slayton, don't bother to re-sign Slayton. He hasn't been your go-to guy, but he's been decent enough to help out. And like let's be surprisingly honest. When the Giants traded Tony to the Kansas City Chiefs, I was surprised we got that much in return. That was great. And look what he's doing with the Chiefs now. Not much. So we got a steal as a result of that. So if we can get a steal by trading Slayton and getting like maybe a second round draft pick or two for maybe the 2025 or 2026 class, that would be great. Also at the same time, I guess if we can also get, let me look at for a second. Sorry. Who else is going to be a free agent basically this year besides Slayton? I think it was also Olawande or something like that. I forgot his name now. Um, the defensive line basically. Oh, I forgot his name now. I honestly can't remember his names. Sorry about that. Um, I'm trying to look for the name, quite honestly. Sorry about that. Give me a couple minutes. Let me find his name. But in any case, like I said, they should trade off some of the players as much as they can. And if they can get some, if they can get some draft capital in return, that'd be great. I mean, like it seems like Mara has given a confidence in Dable and shown by keeping him by keeping him on board. I mean, it's great that he's going to keep Brian Dable because I think given long term wise, he is the right coach for the Giants. Possibly shown as well too. I think as a GM, I think he knows what he's doing. It's just a matter of like they need to build up basically. And like the only the only thing I can say is this: if they are both responsible for wanting to re-sign Daniel Jones, then maybe there's a problem with that. But I have a feeling that was a Mara dictation more than the like these two. Because like I think if they had the choice, they would have probably gotten rid of him basically at that point. Should the Giants have traded, let's say, Saquon Barkley and like McKinney last year? Yeah, I think they should have. Because like I knew we were never going to re-sign Barkley. McKinney as well too. He was never going to come back with the Giants, so we should have traded him off. So, sorry, Aziz Ojulari is the other one, basically. To the point where honestly he's going to be a free agent. I don't think we're going to need him next year. I mean, it would be great if we could keep him, but we're not going to have him. Um, but in reality is like I'm not sure how that works out. Sorry, give me 1 second. I gotta go and get a glass. I do apologize. I had to get a glass of water. I don't know why my throat's acting up. But in any case, the fact of the matter is basically I don't think we're gonna get much out of this year, basically. And I mean, worst case, what's gonna happen if they trade Slayton? Who are we gonna use? Neighbors. I mean, Neighbors is good enough at this point to hold off as a number one receiver. But we could probably get like Hyatt or Hodgins. And they're like I said, let's just tank the season. Let's just tank the season. Now with Ojulari, it's a whole different story altogether, and he's basically reserved at this point. He's not getting much. He's not doing much because like you got Brian Burns and Thibodeau, and when Tibbs is back, it's a whole different story at that point. As well, the Ojulari, it's great. Young as he is, he might be someone that could help out long term because like he's relatively young. He's only 24, so he could really help out. But it depends on what happens with him. And then of course there's the offensive line of like Evan Neal, and Evan Neal basically. I mean, yeah, the fact that Thomas is out now for the rest of the season, it's like who do you use at this point? And I'm like, honestly, maybe just build off at this point and like trade Neal. Maybe I mean I would love to resign him, but we're not gonna. I think he's gonna want a hell of a lot of money, so I don't think we're gonna get much from him basically. But we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, I think the Giants need to be sellers in this case. Get some draft capital for 2025, 2026, even 2027. They're not going to find a quarterback. There's no outstanding quarterback, put it that way, in this upcoming draft class, unless there's a diamond in the rough one we're not aware of. Then that'd be a different story. I mean, Mahomes wasn't really well known he wasn't really highly touted per se. I mean, he was touted, but not as much so compared to all the others that were at that season, that draft class. So maybe we could find someone of that nature. I mean, that kid from, the kid from Miami. I forgot his name now. I don't know if he's going to be worthwhile because, like I said, that's more of a. I think it's more of depending on the what the program is, and that's how good he is as a result of that. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts. Even if the Giants lose tonight's game or win tonight's game, do you think the Giants should be sellers at this point and just like trade off get some draft capital in return? I mean, hell, if we could trade Daniel Jones, that'd be great, but it's not happening. We know that for a fact. Should they trade him off, or should they, be sellers, or should they hold off and like try to see if they can like keep some of these players and like try to build off again with the draft itself, basically, because they still have enough draft picks at this point. But let me know. I do read my comments in the comment section, and I do respond to them with the warrant response. If you like this video, please hit the like button. It's up to you. I also ask if you can please hit the subscribe button. That'd be great. With that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.